I'm here to talk to you today about mastering customer signals in the experience economy. I'm Rob Tarkoff. I'm the Executive Vice President and General Manager of Oracle CX and the Data Cloud. And now more than ever, as service professionals, we have a lot of thinking to do about how we transform our companies in the era of the experience economy. And that's because the experience economy, it's not a nice to have by any stretch in this day and age. We are facing massive disruption in businesses, in the way we interact with customers, in every one of our operations inside a business. And it's calling on us to put certain values at the forefront that were never as important as they are today. The first is being authentic about the fact that we don't know what the new normal is going to look like. I certainly don't, and I spend every day thinking about my own business. How will we change? How will we adapt? What will be the new ways we'll have to deliver solutions and interact with customers in order to be successful? And that drives us to be much more empathetic about the way we do business, the people we do business with, because everybody is living in a different context. Whatever your industry is, you have a set of challenges that you have to adapt to today. And your ability to do that and your ability to bring the values of authenticity and empathy and understanding of context to your customers will not only help you survive, but it will put your brand way ahead of your competitors as you think about how to operate in this environment. And that's because we're seeing this massive and rapid shift happen in almost real time. As Professor Edmondson of HBS said, the shift happened in days, not months. And you probably saw this in your own business. One day you were in the office, the next day everybody was at home. And not everybody was equipped to be able to make that shift. How do I set up my office situation at home? What do I do if I don't have a good situation to be able to work remotely? How do you as a business support your employees who move from the contact center or the call center or the office environment to working by themselves at home, interacting only through digital platforms like Zoom? At the same time that we were undergoing this transformation, our own businesses were under pressure, leading to jobless claims that we've seen of over 30 million in the United States. We have to figure out how to shift to remote working, but also how to do it in a cost-effective way so that our businesses can remain viable. Not only these changes happen, but travel, for those of us who experience business travel, has changed in ways I've never seen. I was actually on a plane, believe it or not, a few weeks ago, traveling to the East Coast. I've never seen such an empty plane, an empty airport. Now, as business travel winds down to a near halt, we are facing new realities about how we interact with our customers, particularly in a B2B environment. What are we allowed to do in terms of going on site? How do we interact with customers when they don't want to invite us to their business for the safety of their employees and the safety of us? And at the same time, all these changes are happening. We're trying to figure out what is happening with the economy. Are consumers going to spend? Are they going to buy our products? Are they going to be able to keep investing in the things that have helped our business stay viable? These are the massive shifts that we have to navigate. And as service operations, as service professionals, we are a critical part of moving our business forward against this new reality. No agency had to pivot as rapidly as the state of New York to face these new realities. Many of you, like me, may have watched Governor Cuomo's daily coronavirus briefing as he detailed with incredible authenticity all the challenges that the state of New York was undergoing. We were proud at Oracle to participate in the transformation that enabled New York to handle the crisis that was in front of them. We went from a small deployment of 300 some agents for one department of the New York State to scaling to thousands of agents in a matter of days, the ability to answer questions from the coronavirus hotline, the ability to contribute knowledge articles that helped educate those agents on the right answers. Should I get tested? Am I in an at-risk group? Where are the local testing facilities? All the things that the citizens of New York relied on the state to provide for them. 49 different agencies, all working from home, being trained on our service solution together with our partners, Spiridion, working with others across the state of New York. We successfully transitioned them from a small to an incredibly large implementation of service expertise, something we're very proud to have helped the state of New York with, but something that we can all learn from. How do you respond quickly at a time when every day you're reporting on the strides that you're making as a business or as an agency to all of your constituents? And it's not just health and welfare, it's also the economic realities of the crisis, like the city of Los Angeles faced. They had unprecedented unemployment and financial need that was expressed by their citizens, and they had to find a way to develop a COVID-safe debit card relief program. Thankfully, through the Angelenos Card program, the Mayor's Fund was able to distribute close to $40 million to citizens who were in need. During this process, 450,000 citizens applied for the relief card, and over 100,000 were approved to receive these funds from the city in a completely new workflow. Digital onboarding through the application process, touchless distribution of cards, being able to distribute the funds with our partners MasterCard and Apex IT was a huge challenge for the city. But again, in a matter of days and not months, in rapid fashion, the city of Los Angeles, like the state of New York, was able to transform their service operation and provide the relief that their citizens needed. What do we learn from examples of like the state of New York and the city of Los Angeles? We learn that as service operations, these periods of massive disruption and uncertainty demand superior execution, demands the ability for us to maintain our focus on what our customers or our citizens need in this time of great change, require us to understand deeply and with authenticity and empathy, how do we engage with our customers or our citizens to not only retain them as customers, but to help them realize the value that they're doing business with us for, help them capture that value that we want to deliver to them. And finally, CX leaders have to do all of this, maintain customer or citizen centricity, bring the value of our companies and our offerings to our customers with less resource. Because I don't know about you, but I don't think today is an environment where service leaders want to go back to their companies and say, I need a lot more budget to do all of this. We have to do more with less. These are the challenges that we're facing in the experience economy. It's time to think differently because of that. Every service department has to think about the experience that their brand is delivering and decide, are they creating that future-proof experience for your business? This is not something that service operations are accustomed to doing, rapidly changing the complete delivery model and actually thinking about what it means to future-proof the way you interact with customers so that every interaction matters. Because in today's environment, it does. You don't get the opportunity to redo it. So much of your interaction is digital and no longer physical. You have to think differently in order to move your service operation forward. So with that in mind, I'd like to outline for you a little bit about our Oracle CX priorities in the area of customer service. And as I do this, I want to also share some stories about what some of our customers are doing to take advantage of this technology innovation. We serve a broad array of customers across critical industries, all of whom are undergoing massive disruption during this crisis. But what that's helped us learn is how to think about delivering service in an industry-specific context. What an automotive dealer needs to be able to effectively onboard a customer and give them a virtual experience around shopping for an automobile and ultimately servicing them through a two-tier model where they have dealerships is very different from what a communications company needs to launch a new product or provide customer care in a completely digital way. which is completely different again from how public sector scales up multiple agencies working from home at the same time that we think about delivering innovation for brands like Starbucks, who you will also hear from, that will be talking about what they're doing to transform their business in a time of crisis. Delivering service excellence means that we have to think about CX as a real-time endeavor. Real-time signals, real-time service transformation, real-time solutions. And so in order to do that, we focused on 3 key areas that I want to share with you. The first is our unified platform. So I'll be talking a little bit about what that means for us and how we're delivering against this vision. How that unified platform powers the ability to deliver guided experience in a service context, and what that means about becoming more predictive, becoming more thoughtful about how we guide customers through their service issues. And finally, customer intelligence. How can we leverage some of the assets that we have built both for marketing and service to be able to bring those 2 domains closer together to get greater insights on your customers, and through those insights, serve them in new and innovative ways? So first, let's talk about unified platform. Oracle has an incredibly unique offering around unified platform, and many of our competitors may talk about having unified platforms, but nothing at the level of what Oracle provides, from the infrastructure all the way up through integration of your front and back office application workflows. It starts with the huge innovations we've made around Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI, now powering some of the most popular and most trafficked applications on the web, like Zoom video conferencing, which many of you may be on at some point today, if not right now. That infrastructure powers a unique suite of applications, all built on the Fusion schema, all leveraging the same core back-end services around identity and security, and the ability to share data, critical data about your customers across marketing, sales, service, critical data about your products, leveraging supply chain, critical data about your employees and the needs that they have, and critical financial data that can help you get insight into all of the decisions you need to make in the front office to drive your business forward in a profitable way. This unified platform is incredibly unique, and we've shared with many of you our thinking about why it is so important to have a completely integrated stack built on the Gen 2 infrastructure. And we hope that as we share some of these customer stories, you'll see the benefits of this architectural approach. The first is our friends in Canada, Badger Daylighting. They have provided an incredibly environmentally improved service for excavating using hydrovac solutions built on their trucks. Every Badger Daylighting truck can now be dispatched through our field service application with its own P&L. In a sense, we've turned every Badger truck into its own business. So how have we done this? Badger has invested in a complete end-to-end unified platform solution from Oracle. Their service, their field service, their ERP system, all gives them the insight to enable them to think about how can they best dispatch technicians to the right place. How do they deliver the most value from every one of their trucks? How can they optimize the business, the routes, the engagements, the use of facilities? How do they keep their trucks updated and serviced so that they know that every driver can have the opportunity to dispatch with the highest amount of frequency? This is about running your business on a unified platform that gives you insights into how to improve your business. And Badger is not just bringing this to the B2B world, but they're also thinking about how to bring this potentially to B2C, thinking about residential projects. I'm very proud of this story because not only is Badger doing something that's good for the environment and transforming a process like excavation into something that protects our planet, but it's also showing how you can transform your business by putting the right technology and the right service orientation into how you run every engagement that you have with your customer. Next, let's talk about how this unified platform helps drive guided experience. And what do I mean by guided experience? Today, we have so much intelligence about our customers, so much insight into how they operate, that it's time for us to translate that into a set of applications and capabilities that help guide customers through their engagement with you, and in the process, improve the way they feel about your brand. Guided experience starts with capturing signals from all of the interaction points that your customers have with you and enriching those signals with intelligent algorithms that help create customer attributes, which I'll talk about a little bit later. These customer attributes then can be applied to things like making your digital assistant smarter. Everybody wants a chatbot today as a front end of their service, but how do they transform that chatbot into something that looks and feels like a real agent to every one of your customers who interact with you? We're putting that all into our new user experience design system. We refer to that as Redwood. Many of you have heard of it. It's a huge innovation from Oracle in not just the way we build the look and feel of our applications, but the way we think about delivering intelligence as a set of signals that can suggest the next best action for your agent, for your customer, that can guide you through a workflow armed with all the intelligence you have from prior customer interactions and leveraging our best-in-class artificial intelligence or machine learning to really develop a unique service experience. This is what we mean by guided experience, leveraging data, automation, a great UX, and intelligent machine learning to help transform the way you deliver your service. One of the ways that we're doing this is through an offering that we call the Digital Trifecta. And I love this name because it's really about leveraging the best of three uniquely powerful technology sets into building a predictive, automated, and tailored service experience. We start with the Oracle Digital Assistant, which is a powerful technology, a bot on the front end that does far more than what a traditional chatbot does. It develops dialogues, it develops industry-specific patterns to help train your customer service operation how to understand the language of an industry. And once we've deployed that Oracle Digital Assistant, we can couple that with our Intelligent Advisor and our knowledge management system to help you develop a very tailored and personalized service experience. To give you some examples of that, let's talk about the company Hermes, a great parcel delivery company in the UK, second largest to the UK Royal Mail. They deployed this digital trifecta. They started with our Oracle Digital Assistant, which they named Holly, as a way to figure out how do they deal with inquiries that kept coming up about where's my package? Was it delivered to my home? Can I track it appropriately? The things that most people want their logistics provider to offer to them. Using this digital trifecta, Hermes was able to actually give a personality to Holly. Holly became like your best friend, the agent that always knew what you wanted. In fact, Hermes tells stories about receiving letters from customers to Holly thanking her for the great service, even though they knew Holly was not real. That's a whole nother topic in and of itself. But it's a great example of how Hermes used the digital trifecta and guided experience to transform the way they deliver service. The third area of innovation that's a big priority for us is customer intelligence. And we've talked a lot about this in the context of marketing. How do you develop real-time campaign segments? How do you target your customers with highly personalized messages? But for service, customer intelligence is really becoming a huge differentiator, and we're seeing businesses take advantage of the insight they can gain from capturing signals across their interaction points and transforming that into a completely new service experience. Razer's a great example of a company that has turned a gaming platform into a conglomerate. The three-headed snake has become a symbol of gaming culture. They've been able to not only interact with their gamers and communities and customer service agents to help co-create solutions, but they've transformed the way gamers think about the brand by including them in the process of developing great service solutions. They've developed insight and intelligence around all areas of their ecosystem. They've launched financial services products. They've launched energy drinks. They have all sorts of different ways of engaging their gamer community. And they do this because they put a premium on customer intelligence as a source of real competitive advantage for their business. Many companies today can learn from what Razer is doing in the service experience as they think about how to leverage customer intelligence and platforms like we provide to create a level of personalization that we've never had in service before. CX Unity is our real-time customer intelligence platform that started in marketing and is now spreading across the entire front office to include insights, to develop intelligence, and to help augment and enrich attributes about customers that are useful not just for marketing, but for service, for sales, for commerce, as we try to fuel real-time CX and understand better what it is a customer needs at the time we're interacting with them. CX Unity is revolutionizing customer service through capabilities like routing customers to the best agent based on what they really care about, based on what their passions are, based on things we know about them, from developing a 360-degree view that includes not only your service interactions, but the entire digital journey you've had with our brand. This gives us insight into not only what the customer's doing and feeling at the time that you're engaging with them as a service operation, but what happened before they got there. What other products did they buy? What subscriptions are they a part of? What interactions did they have with your marketing campaigns? How do we get you insight to deliver customer service in a way that gets in front of the problem, preemptively provide solution? We call this predictive service, and it's only able to be done when you leverage a customer intelligence platform like CX Unity. You can identify patterns and deliver solutions in a way that your competitors can't. And it's because you take advantage, like Razer did, of the intelligence that's available to you across your Oracle platform. So what's the call to action today for all of us? First, we reviewed how experiences are everything, and no more so than in the world that we are living in, where things are constantly changing. Businesses are having to reinvent every day, every week. We have to listen to our customers and respond to the way that they want to receive service. If you do this right, service becomes the brand. Your agents become the front line. More than ever before, organizations are empowered to serve whoever gets to the customer first. Whoever can provide the brand promise and the benefits of what your customer service can provide for your end customers. And finally, we can now, more than ever before, make service the change agent of the business. So if you're a head of service, seize this moment to take your company's future into your hands. Choose the future by deploying a platform and a set of technologies and a community of successful customers who can help you transform your career, the brand of your business, and your industry. This is what we're able to do today, and we're seeing the rewards of companies who get it right every day in the markets. This is your opportunity to be one of the leading service transformation forces in the industry, and we're here to help you do that.